So I've got T here who's kindly demonstrating, and this is going to be one or two videos, and the first one's going to be about technique. And this video is just about making sure that when you come into our facilities that you can really set up and perform a really effective deadlift. So there's two variations you can do of a deadlift. There's a standard deadlift, which is, T's going to demonstrate, which is literally feet hip width apart and the hands come the outside of the bar. So if you've not done deadlifting before, I'll get T just to demonstrate. And it's a simple movement of lifting a bar off a floor. So the standard deadlift would be the hands on the outside of the knees, and we then lift up through the heels and we stand lifting the bar close to our hips. And then we control slowly back down in reverse order. So that's the first standard deadlift. And then there's a second deadlift, which is called a sumo deadlift. And T takes these legs nice and wide, and this time the hands come on the inside of the bar. And generally the shoulders are level with the hips, so the arms in this distribution here. And then as we grip the bar, again, we push through the heels, through the legs, and we stand nice and tall, and then we come back down again. So, a deadlift works the glutes, it works the lower back, it works elements of the hamstring and quads. Essentially, it works all those major components. It's not particularly very good if you're doing hypertrophy training. It is very much a generalized strengthening exercise. It's quite functional knowledge, and if you think about lifting off the floor, if you're lifting a boxer. So it can recruit up to 200 muscle groups when you're lifting this type of, or when you're trying to do this type of activity. So it's great for strengthening. It's not particularly if you want to build lots of muscle. Very inefficient in that sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to just break down elements of this technique so that it can apply to most people. So the two different versions that T just did then will depending on what you feel most comfortable with and what you can adapt. If we come to the side, what we do is the setup would be coming with a standard deadlift, the feet come hip width apart to begin with. And obviously T's going to put his hands on the outside of the bar. When we come down into this position, now he's perfect what he's done through his hips. You stand back up again for me. As he comes through, if you posterior tilt and just go into it, if you round his back, go the other way, mate, other way, so round, so arch the back, forwards, side, down, forwards we go, forwards up into, forwards, and then just round the back for me, round. So there we go, right. So most people would round the back. He's doing a physio course, so he knows what he needs to do with his pelvis. But most people, you can see in this position here, it's quite inefficient and can be quite a high-risk movement for people. Because essentially what you're asking the spine to do when he grips this bar is to move through the back first. And you're going to put a lot of load through the spine. But if he comes back up again, and what he's going to do is tilt his pelvis forward and come back down again for me, you can see now he's come with a flat back. So in this position, the back is nice and flat. And what that's going to do is it's going to recruit the muscles through the spine, and it's going to then counteract the force as he starts to lift. What it also does in this position, it puts his hips in a really, really nice position. And then if you can look at this angle here, it comes straight down. And this is what you should be trying to achieve, is that this arm position, or the forearm position, is parallel with the shin. And in this position then, that means that the hips are back, and then when he lifts up, the knees aren't going to come forwards. What he's going to do is drive through his heels, and you'll be able to recruit this, his bottom, and his quads a little bit more effectively. So head and chest come up, grab hold of the bar for me, T, and then stand nice and tall, up to waist height again. In reverse order, what he'll do is he'll take his bottom back, and you can see he does it perfectly, that the shin and the arms come level and the head stays up. And then we come back into centre. So with a sumo squat, we slightly change the position and we go nice and wide. And maybe the next video we'll talk about the difference between why someone would do a sumo and why someone would do a standard squat. And there's huge variations, and there's differences between strength gains as well with it. So T now would come on the inside, and you can see that the level of the arms are perpendicular to the hips, and that essentially means that the force is going to be going through the hips, and that's where you want, this is the glutes are going to be the strongest muscle group, and that's where you want to try and get the most amount of load going through it. So he grabs level with this position. Now you can see the angle of the back is much better. So T probably be able to lift a lot stronger in this position. Still, his knees are slightly forward, but that's fine. He'll shift his weight back again, but again, the forearms again parallel. As he comes up again, he'll be able to easily lift that up, nice and steady, back down again, and control back down again. Perfect. So there are your two variations of a deadlift. It does make it quite easy because the bar is slightly higher with an Olympic bar and an Olympic plate. On the next video, we'll talk about variations, whether you're doing a deadlift in a pump, what we do with a hex bar, what we do with a training bar, so that you can start to have a little play with it and see what works for you. Hopefully those little tips have helped you with your deadlifting. If you've got any questions, grab one of the members of the team. We can hopefully start helping you and refine your technique and make your lifting a little bit better. Okay, thanks a lot.